Welcome to Move from Center, an opportunity for connection, conversation, and shared wisdom around living, leading, and moving forward by aligning to your center. I'm your host, Dawn Strom, aligned embodiment coach and business mentor for leaders and entrepreneurs who want to create a meaningful impact and holistic success on their own terms. When I started my wellness business back in 2005, I wanted to create a business that allowed me a life that I loved and inspired a movement of healing in the lives of my clients. Years later, I'm still inspired by the power of embodiment to align us to our deep wisdom, empower our purpose, and support aligned action towards creating a meaningful impact in life and business. Tune in monthly for solo episodes and guest interviews around topics from embodiment to business strategy to support you to live, lead, and create your movement by aligning to your center. Welcome back to the Move from Center podcast. And this podcast is really designed as an opportunity to open up this conversation about how we can really deepen our somatic awareness, our experience of being embodied, to go deeper into who we are, deeper into our core, into our center, and to really move and create our lives from that deeper awareness of who we are, what matters to us, what truly matters, and what we want to create in the world, in our lives, in our businesses, in our relationships. Really claim that sense of creatorship that we have in our lives. And today's topic is on the experience of making space for healing in our lives. And this is, a topic that's actually really come up for me again here in the last couple of months, but it's kind of an ongoing theme in a lot of the work I do in the embodied planning work with clients. Is this idea of making space for healing as a regular part of what we plan for in our lives. And when I say that, I'm speaking partly to a really common experience of how we might encounter an injury that I've experienced working with countless clients in the movement therapy space and also, with myself. And that is this feeling that when an injury happens and, whether it's a physical injury or an injury on another level, emotional, psychological, that there's a setback, right? And there's an experience of loss, that we've lost something, that something has pulled us off track that we now need to attend to, that's going to kind of keep us from what we had planned on doing. And this is a really common experience when we get some kind of a physical injury, or like I said, it could be a loss, an emotional, psychological, something else that you're going through, some other kind of injury. But feeling like the call to enter into a healing process can also feel like a setback. And I've been going through this with my own life in the last, for much of my life, I've been working with the concept and the experience of a healing process. But in the last few months, I've been really working with having a really particular acute injury, working with a shoulder and neck injury. And I was brought deeper into this mindset again, and like I said, I've done a lot of work with this in my own life, but my initial reaction was this feeling of setback. And like I said, this is a very common reaction that I've experienced with tons of my clients as well. Like, you end up with an injury and you feel like, oh, here we go again. Maybe you've had chronic injuries in the past, or you have a chronic health condition, or, you've dealt with different kinds of healing processes in your life, but you end up with another injury and you realize, you're going to have to go in and make space to do some new work with your body, with your mind, with your emotions, with your soul. That's going to take you to a different place, right? It's going to require some different things of you that maybe weren't part of the plan. And that's how I felt over the last few months. I was very clear that I needed to put some time and energy into doing some things to rehab my body. And it was clear that it was going to take time away from things that I had planned to do, that were part of the way I had envisioned what success this fall was going to look like for me. But I also know that even though that was a kind of a gut subconscious response on my part, that I also have a bigger paradigm that I truly believe about healing, and that is that it is really part of our path, and that on some level we're always in some kind of a healing process because we're in process, and we're simultaneously both whole and in process. Um, And what I mean by that is that I believe that existentially and fully we are whole beings. And paradoxically, we are also in this process with our experience and with our bodies where we don't perceive as a whole all the time. And things happen, we get injured, things happen in ways that feel like they are not as they should be. And we are called into how I envision this healing process as this call into reimagining and deepening what wholeness looks like for us, what new alignment looks like. Whether it's as concrete as just physically working on alignment in your body or processing an emotional experience and finding deeper alignment to your truth, whatever it is that I really see and choose to see healing as something that is part of our path and part of our journey and part of a calling to really a deeper experience of ourselves, of each other, of humanity, of our sense of humanity. So I've been reminded of that over the last few months, and I wanted to share that I wanted to share the perspective and then also a few things that I also lean into with this because I really believe that at some point, I mean, it's not even just a belief, at some point in anybody's life, they're going to go through some kind of injury, some kind of healing process. And if you can use the opportunity to shift the mindset of setback to a mindset of healing as part of your journey, and then lean into what are those opportunities, insights, connection. What is the healing process calling you to? Yeah, like if you lean into the perspective, then what opportunities reveal themselves? What insights reveal themselves to you about what might need to be shifted and realigned and how you're if it's a physical injury and how you're using your body and how you're taking care of yourself. If it's something you're working on emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, like what needs to be shifted and realigned? And how does that space of healing, of focusing energy more deeply on that process of realignment, give you that opportunity to make some deeper shifts? And then thirdly, how does it open up a transformation for you? So as you go through your own process with healing, how does it open up a transformation? What is on the other end? How does it become fundamentally part of your journey? And I think this is a key piece, and this is a piece in my own process this fall. I'm still in the middle of it, but over my own experience in my life and also experiences that I've had with clients who have gone through deep healing processes, that really lean into the healing, whether it's, like I said, a physical, emotional, whatever layer it is that you're working with that presents itself as the symptom. If you really lean into the deep experience that there's a new level of wholeness and alignment that wants to come through you, and then you lean into what possibilities for realignment are there for you to act on, to start to create new habits, new ways of being, thinking, moving. And then as you start to move through and on the other side, how can you really allow that then to become part of your journey? So it's not just a paradigm that you're leaning into, but it really becomes a process that you've lived, that it's just as much a process of achieving success or of achieving fulfillment as maybe something that might have felt more planned in the sense of, it's easier sometimes to think about success and fulfillment and goals as, something we plan our lives, around that we, want to achieve and want to take controlled action steps towards. But when these injuries and healing opportunities happen, one of the beautiful pieces of the opportunity is often it's unexpected and it becomes that bigger opening to oftentimes a much deeper transformation, experience, purpose than we could have ever come up with if we were just trying to use our mind and use, maybe a more rational approach to creating something fulfilling with our lives and with our time and with our energy and with ourselves. And so, you know, I'd love to just leave you with this today that, your healing process, whatever you're in, it's it's just part of your journey. It's part of the process. It's part of the process of being human, to be and to have opportunities to work with what is vulnerable in ourselves, to work with what needs connection, what needs realignment is part of what allows us to really go deep into who we are, into what our path, what our purpose is. And it can be a doorway. It can be a doorway to something unexpected in yourself and in your life. And I hope that this lands for you. I hope that it, wherever it meets you in your path, that it is resonating in a way that opens up some new insight for you. And so I leave you with this December of 2023 and this holiday season. I hope that it is a season for you of joy, of connection, of coming inward, of meeting yourself wherever you are in your journey, in your healing journey, in your process of becoming you, fully you, and moving from your own center in deeper and deeper ways and more powerful ways. I'm on my walk today. It's cool here in the Minnesota region, but wherever you are, as you're moving into the new year and you're thinking about planning, I encourage you to think about healing and your experience of making space for healing as part of how you do your planning next year. So that as you're looking for what you want to create in your life as you move into a new cycle, that there's space already built in for knowing that you're also here to transform something, to heal something within yourself, that something's going to arise, and that when you make space to be in conversation with the parts of yourself that are evolving, that need maybe more care, more attention, more alignment, when you make regular space for that, that it starts to deepen the capacity that you have to really use healing to transform your life, to transform and support the lives of others, and just really go deeper into whatever your life is offering you right now. So I wish you a joyful holiday season. And if you're interested in more of a deep dive into this, making space for healing in the new year and working with how to engage your process of planning and creating your vision and setting goals that incorporates your body, incorporates your life, your business, all parts of you, and make space for the healing, make space for the self-care and the connection that is the groundwork for everything else that's going to move you forward in your life. Go ahead and just head over to my website. There's a link in the footnotes. Head over and just go ahead and fill out and apply for. I have a Move from Center embodied planning session coming through here in the new year. I'm starting to book those sessions for January now. So feel free to pop in to my contact form and send me a note. And I'm happy to send you some information about that as you're listening to this, if this is really resonating with you and you want to cultivate this space for healing and connection as a foundation for your planning in 2024. All right, friend, take care, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to the Move from Center podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode and would like to share it with others, please post about it on social media and tag me, or take a moment to leave a rating and review. And to get connected and all the latest from the podcast in your inbox, join the Momentum list to get my tips, tools, and resources for living and leading from your center to create holistic success and a meaningful impact on your own terms.